Price elasticity of demand or PED. Before going to PED, let's recap the law of demand. It states that as the price of a good increases, demand for that particular good will tend to fall. However, the drop in demand may depend upon the customer's ability and willingness to pay. For example, a rise in the price of a product with plenty of substitutes such as soap, fruit, or vegetable will have a larger impact on its level of demand than a rise in the price of a product that has fewer substitutes such as petrol, gas, rice, etc. Price elasticity of demand or PED measures the degree of change in the quantity demanded for a good followed by a price change. Price inelasticity. If a price change causes a relatively small change in the quantity demanded, then demand is said to be price inelastic. That is, buyers are not highly responsive to changes in price. For example, if the price of petrol increases aggressively, it is unlikely to affect the demand for price seriously by its users because petrol has no substitute and it has less price elasticity. Price elasticity. By contrast, demand is said to be price elastic if there is a relatively large change in the quantity demanded of a good followed by a price change. That is, buyers are very responsive to changes in price. For example, a small rise in the price of Pepsi Cola is likely to reduce its demand quite drastically as customers switch to other rival brands such as Coca-Cola. Use of price elasticity of demand. Companies use this concept of price elasticity of demand to know how demand for their products is likely to react in the market if prices are adjusted. For example, a business with price inelastic demand for its goods is likely to increase its prices, knowing that demand will be hardly affected because the goods have fewer or no substitute. Therefore, the company will benefit from higher revenue by selling its price at a higher price. Sometimes a company charges high price from the customer that has inelastic nature of demand. So here calculate price elasticity of demand. PED, shortcut of the formula is that numerator will be the term which comes second in the price elasticity function. For example, here PED means price elasticity of demand. So demand is the second term. So here in the formula, we will use demand as a numerator. So percentage change in quantity demanded and denominator is percentage change in price. For example, if a cinema increases its tickets price from $10 to $11 and this leads to demand falling from 3,500 to 3,325 customers per week. How we are going to calculate PED? First, we will determine the percentage change in quantity demanded, then percentage change in price. So here we have minus 5% over 10%. So the answer is minus 0.5. So here we ignore the negative sign because demand function has negative relationship with the price. So we ignore the negative sign. So the answer is 0.5 or less than 1. Price elasticity of demand. The calculation of PED generally has two different possibilities. If the PED for a good is less than 1, then demand is price inelastic or demand is relatively unresponsive to changes in price. This is because the percentage change in demand is smaller than the percentage change in the price as shown here. So if the PED for a product is greater than 1, then the demand is price elastic. That is, demand is relatively responsive to change in price. This means when price changes, the demand changes larger than the percentage change in the price as shown in the diagram. However, there are three special cases. If the PED for a product is equal to 0, then demand is perfectly price inelastic. That is, a change in price has no impact whatsoever on the demand. So, a business can charge whatever price it likes. This usually happens in case of oil, gas or electricity prices because these natural resources have no other substitute. If the PED for a product is equal to infinity, then demand is perfectly price elastic. That is, a change in price leads to zero quantity demanded. This suggests that customers switch to buying other substitute products if suppliers raise their price as shown in diagram. If the PED for a product is equal to 1, then demand has unitary price elasticity. That is, the percentage change in the price is proportional to the change in the price, or equal change in demand by the change in the price. Knowledge of the price elasticity of demand for a product can be used to assess the impact on consumer expenditures and sales revenue following price changes. Sales revenue is the amount of money received by the supplier from sale of a good or service. It is calculated by multiplying the price by the quantity sold. That is, revenue is equals to the price multiplied by quantity demanded. Here the profit is not the revenue. Profit is the difference between revenue and cost of production. For example, if Sony sells 5,000 units of laptops at $700 each in the March 2021, its sales revenue is $3.5 million. Let's suppose that the company reduces the price to $650 and demand increases to 5,200 units in the following month. So here we are going to calculate price elasticity of demand by calculating percentage change in the quantity demanded and then the percentage change in price. So by using the formula, we calculated the 1.4. What is 1.4? This means that the PED for Sony laptops is price elastic. Hence, a fall in price causes a relatively larger change or increase in the demand. So sales revenue should increase. This shows the impact of price change over revenue in case of three different situations. Price elasticity of supply. Price elasticity of supply measures the change in supply of a good following a change in its price. Supply is said to be price elastic if producers increase supply without a time delay. If there is an increase in the price of that good. By contrast, supply is price inelastic if firms find it difficult to change supply of goods in a given time period when the market price changes. That shows the calculation for PES. Price elasticity of supply has the formula of numerator is the price percentage change in quantity supplied and denominator is percentage change in price. So here we are going to use the example. If the market price of beans increased from $2 per kilo to $2.2 per kilo, causing the quantity supplied to increase from 10,000 units to 10,500 units. So the answer is 0.5. Here we are getting 0.5. The answer is in positive because supply and price has positive relationship. So in both cases we will ignore the sign. The calculation of PES generally has two possible outcomes. If PES is greater than 1, supply is elastic. That is, supply is more responsive to changes in price. Or the percentage change in supply is greater than the percentage change in price. As shown in the diagram, PES is less than 1, supply is price inelastic. That is, quantity supplied is relatively unresponsive to changes in price. Or percentage change in quantity supplied is less than the percentage change in price, as shown in diagram. However, there are three special cases for PES. If the PES of a product is equal to 0, then supply is perfectly price inelastic. That is, a change in price has no impact whatsoever on the quantity supplied. This suggests that there is absolutely no spare capacity for suppliers to raise outcome or irrespective of increases in price, as shown in diagram. If the PES of a product is equal to infinity, then supply is perfectly price elastic. That is, the quantity supplied can change without any corresponding change in price. For example, a software developer selling products online can easily increase supply to match higher levels of demand without any impact on the price level. Due to the spare capacity that exists, suppliers are able to raise output at the current price level, as shown in diagram. If the PES for a product is equal to 1, then supply has unitary price elasticity. That is, the percentage change in the quantity supplied matches the proportional change in the price. Any upward sloping supply curve that starts at the origin will have unitary price elasticity, as shown in diagram. That's the summary of chapter 4. If you need more help, then contact me. Bye bye.